Networking and Marketing Made Simple is for you, the business owner that has a product, service, or a message that you truly believe in. Each week, we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at real-world networking and marketing tactics, leveraging LinkedIn to get what you have in front of many more people. Thanks for spending time with me, and let's get started. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another dual episode of Networking and Marketing Made Simple and
Entrepreneur Rescue Mission.
So as you have been following along, we've done 3 episodes recently on all the strategies and tactics you need to do to really strategize all the processes on LinkedIn to really maximize the potential, your profile, your connecting, your messaging. And this is our 4th and final episode around this topic. And it's about the type of content that you need to create and why for your marketing and branding strategy. So, Nance, anything to say about marketing and branding on LinkedIn?
Well, it's definitely, obviously, something as a business owner, everyone should be focused on. And we've been talking about LinkedIn, right, for the last few episodes, obviously on both of our podcasts. And we're going to share with you today all the ins and outs and some really basic tips on how you can really start creating amazing content. But remember, we actually have a workshop coming up. So make sure if you have not registered or joined at this point, we're having a workshop called Amateur to Expert on LinkedIn. You guys will learn literally, it's the keys to the castle. It's all about how to build out your sales process using LinkedIn, how to generate leads, how to do all the things. And we teach it to you live, virtually, obviously. So you can join us on Zoom and we will be doing that, obviously the week of January 22nd. That whole week, right, each day we'll be covering one really bulky part of LinkedIn, but it's going to be an amazing training. It's actually one of our favorites to do, and it's actually one of our favorites from, the people who attend. So it's going to be a good one. And obviously it's revamped with all the latest and newest updates from LinkedIn. So you guys are getting the newest, right out of the box from 2024.
Yep, and it's from 1 to 2 p.m. EST live and recorded. There'll be a link in the description of this episode and the email that you obviously open to listen to this or watch this to register. The replays will be available until the following Monday, so you will have some extra days to watch it back. So we're going to go over the optimization of your profile, connecting, messaging, your sales process, your marketing and branding, and how to stand out as an expert in your space on LinkedIn. So as far as marketing and branding yourself on LinkedIn, obviously that comes down to the types of content that you can create. And there are a multitude of things that you can do on LinkedIn, native video, live video, audio events, LinkedIn events, posts, polls, pictures, documents. But when we kind of break down the core processes and maybe things to start with, we don't like to overwhelm people with a strategy and saying, hey, you got to post 2-3 times a day, even 5 days a week can be a bit much for people when they're starting out on LinkedIn. And there's 3 things that we talk about, and that's what we're going to go over in today's episode. There are 3 pieces of content that you should look to put out on LinkedIn each week and why. And we always kind of lead off with on Mondays. So you can have a strategy of a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday posting schedule. You can actually do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's a secondary option. There's been new studies done that have proven that Tuesdays and Thursdays tend to be higher engagement days because Monday people are kind of getting back into the workflow, and Fridays people are kind of checked out and they're just looking forward to the weekend. So whether you do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the first day that you post, whether it be Monday or Tuesday, you want to start with a video. Now, this is not a live video. This can be a native video. It could be 30 to 60 seconds, kind of like an introductory tip video, or it can be a longer educational and information-based video, 2 to 4 minutes, where you're giving multiple tips. And, video is so powerful. It is still king. It is still the best way to create connection between you and your audience, but also one of the best ways to really build out your marketing and branding strategy.
Yeah, and one statistic I actually read the other day, I was really excited to actually see that they had posted something, but they actually did a study on Forbes, And one of the big questions that people were asking were, are CEOs and are, those high ticket, leads using social media? And across the board, over 90%, confirmed that, yes, CEOs were in fact on social media. And one of the primary platforms that they are on is LinkedIn. And the other statistic that it went down was that they watch video. That's one of the primary ways that they actually check out other companies. They learn more about people prior to hiring them, and so on and so forth. And so I just thought it was a really awesome study. Definitely going to share a little bit more about that as it unfolds. But so happy they finally did the research because, obviously clients that I work with all the time are like, do people really go on there? Are my leads actually on there as far as high ticket and big companies and corporations? Well, yes, they are. So LinkedIn is going to be the best bet and the best place to find them. And video is a great way to do it.
Yep, and it could be as simple as just doing it on Zoom and just pre-recording a bunch of videos and releasing them, once a week, or on your phone. And the great thing is LinkedIn has made it easier for people because you can now pre-schedule all of your content right on the platform. So you can actually pre-schedule your video content. You can put a little description. And if Monday or Tuesday are going to be your video days, you can literally batch out 4 videos at a time and schedule them a week apart for 4 straight weeks. So now you have a month's worth of your video content already done.
Yeah, and I just want to throw in there too, video is such an amazing way to build the know, like, and trust with your audience. Because again, it's you, right? It's not AI writing articles and things. It's you on camera, actually sharing your expertise and your thought leadership. And, again, it's one of the better ways to actually show your potential leads and the people that you're connecting with, who you are and help them get to know you a little bit better. So keep in mind that video, again, is so personal. Yes, they do have AI programs where it can look like you, but no one is you, in fact. And, this is still a great way for you to get out there.
Yep. So the second thing, and this is always going to be on a Wednesday, whether you're following the Monday, Wednesday, Friday posting schedule or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday is going to be your market research day. And the way that you're going to do this is through the power of market research polls on LinkedIn. Now, you can conduct polls on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, wherever. But the power of doing them on LinkedIn is that people always ask the question, well, I don't know what to post about. I don't know what to talk about. One of the best things that you can do to further the content that you're going to create is ask your audience a question, because questions lead to answers. So what I always suggest for people to do on Wednesday is, if you know your core demographic of the people that you're marketing to and with, ask a pain point question. And just an example, it could be, for me, when I did one that I did the other day was, were you aware of the latest message note connection restriction on LinkedIn? And it was just a simple yes, no, other comment below. And the majority of the people had not heard of that new restriction, because what that tells me is my core demographic, my core audience that's looking to learn about LinkedIn didn't know about this update. So what that does is it puts you in that position of being an information source and an educational source, because then that can then catapult you to creating additional and further content on Thursday and or Friday with further content. So you're using and leveraging LinkedIn polls to find out people's pain points and problems, and then you're leveraging the responses from that poll to create longer form content on Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, it's an excellent way. And I mean, Scott really opened my eyes to the different ways that you can use polls, but what a great way to engage with your audience and to really pose a question and start a dialogue. In fact, I've seen many, I did one years ago and it was, asking people, do you have a sales funnel, set up for your business? And everyone who responded, I think I gave it was very simple. It was like, yes, no, or I don't know what this is, or how to even start. And there were several people who posted in the comments, I have no idea where to start. I know I need one. And so again, it opened the door to such a natural and regular conversation that I could have with a lead and take it from there.
Yep. So another thing that can be done is, when you do these polls, as Nancy said, you can reach out to the people that voted, but you always want to pay attention to what the popular responses are. So in the example that I gave you, if the majority of the people that voted in that poll did not know about the latest restriction on LinkedIn, you have 2 options for your next piece of content, which is going to be either on Thursday or Friday. You can do an article, a newsletter edition if you have one, or just a general long form post, which you can have up to 3,000 characters. Now, with this piece of content, you're referring back to your poll. And you would actually mention that either in the article, the newsletter edition, or the post. I conducted a poll, earlier in the week asking if people knew about this latest restriction, and the majority of people did not. So I wanted to go over 3 key points or 3 things that you need to know about this latest restriction. Number 1 is this, number 2 is this, number 3 is this. Which tip or which piece of information did you find most helpful? Comment below, and then a few hashtags, and you're done. And that's the beautiful thing about LinkedIn polls, is that they fuel additional content. So you don't have to say, well, I don't know what to post about. I don't know what to talk about. Now you do. So you do your video on Monday, your market research poll on Wednesday, and your long form piece of content on Friday or Thursday that speaks to the poll question that you did on Wednesday. And that can be, again, the form of a long form post up to 3,000 characters, an article, or a newsletter edition if you have one on LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll just tack on because, I work with a lot of clients, a lot in the insurance industry and, in some different advisory roles. And, one flow that we do is typically posting a video. We also do a LinkedIn newsletter, right, which is a little next level, right? And then we typically do a poll. And then occasionally, right, we'll pepper in some posts here and there in between. But, you can take this to the next level, or again, like Scott said, just super basic, right? That short video, which you heard from Scott, it could be as short as 30 to 60 seconds. And, we don't want you jumping on there going, and then jumping off. No, you want to provide value. You want to share a tip. You want to give people, something that leaves them better. And then obviously your poll. And then again, that longer form post. So there's just, plenty of different ways that you can take this, but keeping it at the bare minimum. We like to keep things simple. You can just start with those 3 posts a week with that strategy.
So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever is good for you. And don't forget that starting on January 22nd through the 26th, 1 to 2 p.m. EST, live and recorded, we'll be doing our first free LinkedIn workshop of the year. We do 2 of these per year. So definitely take advantage of this. This is all the latest updates on LinkedIn in 2024 and beyond. So again, go to the description to sign up, share it with your friends. It's completely free. We would love to see you there. So love and gratitude. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for checking out today's episode. If you could, please support this podcast by hopping over to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or any place that you're listening to this. Leave us a rating and review. Let us know what you loved most and what you would like to hear more of. But also, if you would like to learn how to take your business to the next level, whether it's using LinkedIn or working directly with myself and Nancy in our intimate group coaching programs, you can head over to www.thetimetogrowth.com or scottaaron.net to learn more. Thank you again for your support, love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you soon.